its wings. A corruption so deep, it poisons everything. But in the shadows, a group of heroes arise. Bound by courage, they'll never compromise. Through treacherous valleys and mountains high, they fight for justice, never questioning why. Their hearts ablaze, united they stand against the forces of evil hand in hand. Oh, hear the legends of our sacrifice. In the face of darkness, we will rise with valor. Hearts will take a stand. Defend us, our Freya will save the land.
We're back, baby. Welcome back. Hey, everybody. Matt Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. With me tonight, he returneth. We have Conrad as Arno Jerkel.
Hello, friends.
We have Michael as Tharval Eldon.
Going out bed in the morning night.
Jace as Brother Gavin.
With all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the
Moon.
yes.
Black as Bartholomew Pringle.
Pants or no pants, I am here to party.
Marcus
Hello.
Lance.
You can't see me.
And Vic as Cern Sanguine.
I exist. I do not know why, but I exist.
Okay, so yeah, it's been a bit of a time since we've been on last. Apologies about that. Unfortunately, life has gotten away multiple people in a quick succession, so nothing we could have done about it. So we left off in the last session. Where let's just stick the music back on again. So we left off in the last session where pretty much the High Paladin had, decided that he had to make a what's the word? I can't even think of the word. An example of not Cyril, Cyril, because he was the one that potentially brought the spores of the false Hydra into the Temple of Devotion. Well, are they aware that you let them go yet, by the way, Arno? Are people aware?
Where did we get last time? The party, you mean?
Yeah, the party are aware. Are the party aware?
No, I don't think
Nope.
they were.
Oh yeah, so basically, so they've gone to basically hang him. They've erected a little scaffold in the middle of the square, and they're going to execute him basically because that's what you do with people you're trying to destroy. Well, intentionally or unintentionally trying to destroy one of your fortified positions, I guess, in the middle of a war. So Arno has basically said, take me instead. He's entreated to basically go in his stead. So is currently now noose around his neck in the middle of the square. He can't do anything about it because there's anti-magic fields all over the temples in complex, and Bartholomew and Brother Gadden have basically run up in there trying. What did you guys find out from the last session? What did you?
We found the little cubby hole, the little place.
Ah, yes, that's right. Yes, you found you found basically an area where the anti-magic field doesn't sort of affect them, and they've sort of kind of put some furniture up against the wall when you broke through it. So you put some furniture up against it to sort of disguise it. Saren, you weren't doing loads. I think you were just drinking and then saw the commotion and ran over. Tharval, you and your brother nearly caused a cave-in in the complex underneath. We're trying to sort of escape from the guards. You find the tunnel towards Arno's cell, and then he told you to go, and you've basically made your way back. Then you again seen him being dragged out with Cyril, and sort of ran over.
Was Saren not getting dragged off to the cells as well?
She's in the cell.
Oh yes, she
And
was.
Lance is in
She was.
prison and
Did she
Saren
not
is
like
in
charge somebody or something like that? And
Yeah, I threw a bottle to try and like distract
How was
him.
it?
It backfired really
That's
badly.
right.
That's it.
Yes, all right, yes. You
Yeah,
know,
that backfired like so bad.
oh yeah, I think we said you were going, but we'll sort of retcon it slightly. Just everybody's where they are, so there's nobody sort of there. So basically there, and then Lance, you'd basically you'd had a bit of a message from your mates, the old man, and you were on your way back to basically tell people when pretty much everything has conflagrated in the center of the temple complex. Right.
Something like that.
Okay.
He's in prison as well, though. Lance got put in a cell next to me. Remember?
yeah, I think how it ended was Gadden,
We were dragged back from the cells into the middle, weren't we?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
were
Gadden,
Yeah.
Bartholomew, and Serval and Tharval were talking to the head, like the main guy,
the grand sort of
The grand-
yeah.
to
Yeah,
try and
Faraval
talk about it.
and
then the
Saren.
last thing was
the high paladin.
Yeah,
The high paladin.
Tharval and Saren spotted Tiamat,
Yeah, man.
or
Oh yes,
Yeah,
and at the end, so basically, the same place where Bartholomew and Brother Garin sort of emerged from, Tiamat and what seems like quite a lot of his guards, or at least his retinue, are starting to sort of file out of that room, and have sort of said their hellos. I can't remember exactly what he said from the last session. Shows how prepared we are. I've been too busy, right? One of the reasons is I've been super busy, and this will be a bit of a thing. So I've because we've been offloads, I've been back and forth trying to, and I found a new map program, which I don't think I'm going to be able to show you really well, but I can show you this.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Birdie.
Yeah, it's birdies, tigers. So this is a part of a thing. It's called Canvas of Kings, and it is quite a cool sort of map mapping program, which you can sort of import animated things. It looks sort of kind of like a map. I'm going to see if I can share this with people. Let me just create a scene here, and then
It's so pretty.
and then we are going to add in a window capture. Yeah, window capture. Okay, and then we're gonna go that one. There we go. Hopefully, is that gonna show? Is it showing? No, it's not showing. It's not showing. Birth a minute. I will change that. Let's change this. Remove. Add in another one.
Kapla.
Kapla.
Kaplar.
Game capture. Let's try that. Game capture. And then we are going to go for.
Going for gold.
No, that's not. I think I can't see it. It doesn't seem to want to. It doesn't want to show you, which is annoying because it's really cool. I can show it to you guys on here. I will stream it with you lot, so Lecky and you lot can see it. Unfortunately, people at home will not be able to. You guys can see it from there. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. This is currently my whip for the thing. I wonder if I can do this. Bear with me one minute, ladies and gents at home. I'll see if I can do one more thing. We will do a display capture. And we will do it on that, and I will fire this up here. Everybody. Oh, can people see that now? I think they should be able to see that. Yeah, that's what you should see now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is it. This is the map making tool. Look, as you can see, look, ooh, zooms right in. Trees moving, everything. I'm currently building this out because I feel like we're going to be staying here for a little bit, and I think I've got some really good ideas for what can happen and stuff. But as you can see, the resolution's slightly better on the map making program. But yeah, there's going to be more going on here. So that's a little view behind the looking glass there, behind the curtain, and then we'll go back to that. Okay, right. So let's move this, shrink that down. Okay, right. So, yes, you guys are all sat there. We're going to say there's lots of people surrounding you as well. There's going to be ours sticking in loads of small little tokens for people and stuff, but there's people pretty much in and around you looking at the spectacle that is the potential execution. Let me just turn this down slightly. Okay, and then... so Kiamat sort of he comes out of the exit the entrance where you sort of came from. He sort of looks at you all and sort of cricks his neck and goes, "Oh, what a wonderful view. Looks like Dragon Slayer has got himself into a bit of trouble."
Oh god, not you again.
What, not glad to see me, she-elf?
Saren very much resists the temptation to flip him off.
As he sort of comes out, you see the High Paladin sort of looks extremely shocked and sort of advances over. Some of his guards sort of come around, and the Kiamat says, "High Paladin, there is no need to worry. I am here, but to help, to show you our alliance is still intact. I got impatient. I thought I'd drop in to say hello." The High Paladin sort of looks at Kiamat, then looks angrily at the party and goes, "What have you done?"
Why is everyone unshared? He's addressing you. What have you done? Lol.
He goes, I should never have trusted you. All of this because of you, and now the enemy are literally in our complex. He says, "God,
Correct me if I'm
God."
wrong.
It's the second time they've been here before.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he just addressed High Paladin. I only see one High Paladin here. Is there something you want to tell us?
No, he knows. He knows the enemy and stuff. It's nothing sinister. There's
I know, but we got to turn it around on him at this point in time.
okay.
Well,
He sort of looks.
We told him that we struck up an alliance with them, though. Remember?
Yeah, you
So-
said you dealt with you created an alliance. The whole thing was you persuaded him that it was a good idea and stuff, and so he knows about that. Yeah.
Yes. Who do we lose?
Who did we lose?
No, it was a stream.
Just
Just
stopped.
sorry, yeah, I just realized. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, he starts calling for the guards. A bell starts going off. In the surrounding area, some guards start running to his side. Kiamat just sort of stands there looking smug, as he generally does. His guards sort of kind of form up around him. You see some of his sort of red witches sort of standing in the back in the doorway, sort of behind him. You notice that actually roll me.
Am
Roll.
I hands tied, by the way?
Yes, you are currently in a noose on a stool.
But the
A
guard
very
is
high stool.
down, right?
Very nice.
Oh wow! More of a,
It's a bar stool.
While this, sorry, you're gonna get us to roll something.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what it's going to be. It's basically it's. I'm not sure if it's going to be insight or if it's going to be.
What do you want us to roll?
It's
for,
not. I'm not sure if it's perception because it's not picking up on something that is there. It's picking up something that's not there. That probably should be there.
It's skill perception.
that would
That
be
would still be
investigation.
perception. If it's to do with environment, it would be perception. If it's to do
Well,
with
it's not about. It's not about. It's about.
If it's like putting two and two together
yeah,
to
yeah,
yeah,
put two
that's more
together.
investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me some investigations then, please.
Oh boy.
Nice.
1 second.
That first one was Cerebel's.
Nice one, Fireball.
That was Cerebel. That definitely wasn't. Tharabal's is going to be awkward.
Zervel, you fucking show off.
Terrible. Yeah. So is that everybody? Is that everybody?
Nope, I'm waiting to do it. 1 second. Investigation, right?
Yep.
Investigations.
And celebrate.
Was that a crit fail there? Okay.
Yeah, on one side, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I guess Cerevel will sort of kind of pick up on it quickly. The first, he sort of turns to Tharavel and says, "Brother, there's something odd here. This is a highly secure complex with many, many guards, and yet, how many can you see? What, 10? 15? Where is that? Where are they all?"
Are we talking about like our guards or theirs?
Ours sort of people who are sort of manning, who would be manning the area.
But he scoffs when he says it's a highly secure complex.
Tharavel sort of turns to the High Paladin. Is like, my lord, my brother has a point. Where are your guards? And for a bastion to be cloaked in anti-magic, how have Tiamat has managed to enter untouched and unscathed? This is not our doing.
Tiamat sort of looks at Brother Garin and Bartholomew, and he says, "You're a wizard. You seem amused at your comrade's statement. It would seem that you know why we have entered this place."
Yes, because their magical defenses are worthless. I know you have been. You've sent spies here before. Do not pretend you haven't. You could have come and gone as you pleased at any moment.
That's not very true. We had no inkling of this place until it was brought to our attention by two friends.
You know something?
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that. You know something, right? You know, you seem to have this thing about boasting about your superiority, especially when it comes down to your abilities in martial prowess and, espionage. You'd want to kind of brag about it right now and say that you're actually really in the best position in the upper hand by telling everybody that somehow you have not one, not two, but at least 15 different spies here. Come on, just say it. Have some pride for yourself, otherwise you're besmirching Tiamat's name by just constantly being this coy little dragonborn. What are you, a little lizard outside in the volcano, just like seeping away the sun because you're a little petty boy and you can't exactly be espionage proud?
He has an inferiority complex.
Don't entertain it because the superiority complex is not even in there.
Oh no, inferiority complex.
Definitely.
Birth 1 minute. I was gonna. I think I'll just be really funny now. It's only something. It was. I was gonna. I said to Conrad about it. I haven't told him what it was, but I'm just gonna do it now. It's a one-off, and it'll just be funny. But birth 1 minute.
Fart in the microphone or something?
Say it again. No, birth 1 minute.
You're gonna fart in the microphone.
Okay, birth 1 minute.
Fart.
Let me just check something.
Oh look, he's having a hard time digesting whatever it is that he's having to spew out. I don't know if it's pride or vomit.
It's all that bile, it's giving him indigestion.
Yeah.
You should seek a tablet for that.
Be kind, Gadden. It's
I'm trying to be kind. I'm a cleric. I have good bedside manner.
he's struggling to come to terms with the fact that it's Ferrenbor that's the accomplished of the.
Oh
Dragon
yes,
One.
of course. I would be very angry. I would be like completely like belittled, not even emancipated. What's that word called again? Where you're like castrated. That's the word. I feel like I'm
Okay,
emasculated and castrated. If I had a Therenbor there.
You can see him getting somewhat peeved at your goads, and he doesn't say anything. You can just see smoke coming from his sort of nostrils. He then sort of cocks his head to one of his red witches, and you one of them just sort of cracks a smile and then does something with her hand. Roll me a charisma save.
Is it magic?
Yep.
All of us.
No, just Brother Garden.
Oh,
Rules
boy.
lawyer time. Anti-magic field. Can you do that?
Yep.
I think.
I think this is where we're about to fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
I think this is where the anti-magic field isn't so magic.
Well,
I think it's because
Well,
she's
so
in the room.
anti-magic.
oh,
Probably
she
because
could be,
she's
yeah.
She's in the room.
Yeah, but you're not allowed. You can't cast into it. Apparently, it'll be something. It's probably in our favor. If they can do
Yeah.
magic, hopefully we can.
1 second. There is one thing that I just need to check before I go ahead and roll because there is something.
He's a charismatic
No,
boy.
there is not. There isn't. It's fine. Don't worry. Charisma saving throw.
Yes,
Let's
please.
go.
Is she gonna throw him a giant bag of catnip?
Giant ball of yarn.
Oh god.
Wow.
She
Failed
goes
that
to
one.
cast a spell, but she just gets the pussycat.
No, I get. It's a critical fail on me.
Yeah. Okay. So you're about to sort of scoff one moment. You're about to say something else mouthy, and you just disappear. And you just sort of go. You just sort of vanish.
Man.
You find yourself back in your own realm. Just sort of.
Sorry. You that okay, Matt, we're in trouble here. You are in trouble. You are in trouble. You are in a lot of trouble.
He can't come back now.
I'm gonna throw you I'm gonna derail hard now.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Go on then.
So, in the magical world of Theros, there are 12 gods, not 1 or 2. So in this instance here, he wants to. If he gets teleported, do you give me a specific location, or
It doesn't
am
really.
I creative will?
In the end, it's literally just you go away. You're going to come back in a minute.
That's fine.
It's
That's
not-
all I need.
it's-
I'm gonna.
It's just
I'm
going to
play it.
I think you've been banished.
You've been
right?
banished,
So,
yeah, you've been banished. It was just, it was just.
That's fine. That's fine. Because
Yeah, but you can't do anything because you're incapacitated when you're banished.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Oh. Can I roll Constitution to try and see if I can wake up?
No, it's
Yeah,
you're in
wait.
a state of stasis basically while you're banished.
So
Are you
it,
sure about that?
Yeah, I've got the.
Okay, let me go ahead. I need. I
it's
wanna try.
again. It was just.
You
I wasn't.
get like a save per round or whatever, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's worth.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not. It was. It was
He's just trying to do cool stuff.
My-
He's just trying to do cool flavor stuff, just like.
Yeah, that's. I know
I'm
it's
just-
flavor. I just want one flavor, which is I just want to play Divine Intervention just for shits and giggles.
Oh, you can do divine intervention. I imagine.
Yeah. That's all I want. One Divine Intervention for shits and giggles.
Okay.
Anyways, carry on.
Yeah. Okay. So the he sort of disappears. He's literally mid sort of insult and just vanishes from where he is to the shock of a lot of the crowd who are just standing there gawping. Again, just there's a lot of people around you at this moment in time still.
Can I just jump in and warn you about something, Matt?
Yeah.
Because Gadden is from a different plane. If that spell is not dropped within a minute, he will not return.
Yes,
Ever.
I know.
Ever.
I know.
Okay,
All right,
okay,
I'm not. It's
okay.
not. It wasn't for. It was literally
One
just.
can only hope.
Just checking that you know this because this is.
Like in the end,
Well,
it doesn't.
Arna
It doesn't
will-
really matter. In the end, it's gonna be. It's not gonna be it's a minute in sort of whatever. My minute, your minute. It could be a long time. Minute could be
It's
a
basically
minute.
getting him to be quiet for
Yeah.
60 seconds.
And then it will be an hour. Right?
So it was just flavor. I was just doing some flavor in there because I saw it on TikTok and some guy used it against some mouthy some player and he went, "You're from a different realm, are you? Banished," and he fucked him off. And I thought it was quite funny because you banished one of my bad guys. So I just thought it was just. So I just thought I'd throw it back at you, and then you can come back. But yeah, so he just sort of kind of disappears, and the witch sort of bows to Kiamat, who turns and looks at the rest of you and goes, "Oh, it seems your cleric has disappeared. How unfortunate."
It's like I was trying to work out who this who Kiamat reminds me of, and it's the college humor Batman.
Yeah.
And I just can't get past it now.
Oh yeah, that's it. Push it in a bit deeper. I'm a bad man.
It's just like some asshole.
And I look over to where Gaddon was and like, I really need to learn to do that next time he scolds me for getting injured.
Yeah, so
I
the high paladin sort of kind of looks at Bartholomew and says, "What is he talking about?"
I turn back and just say, "Oh, don't encourage him." And I turn back to Kim and just say, "Cut the bullshit. Why are you here?"
I just want to, I got slightly bored waiting for you to stop, I got slightly bored waiting for you to, come back with your plan. Seems you have all been rather busy and, potentially disastrous to your own cause. Though it could potentially have a knock-on effect on mine. So I am here to put things right. He then says, "If I may approach."
I turn to the High Paladin and raise an eyebrow and just say, "You'll keep."
You keep your rules.
He says, "Bring back the cleric. As you wish, High Paladin, and he bows, and he sort of turns to the Red Witch, and who she sort of shrugs her shoulder, and then just flicks her hands, and Brother Gadden just sort of kind of appears where he sort of disappeared.
Question:
Where's his
When
trip?
I do reappear, am I incapacitated?
No.
It's just you have no actions when you're away.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Uh,
I feel this
coming
was
through.
slightly premature. We won't hear the end of it now.
So, he's just a little bit, unsettled, as if he's a superior man. Like Therenbor is just somehow. Oh, shit, how long have I been talking for?
Judging by the fact that it's you, quite a while.
Can I continue?
Listen up, Gadden. I think he wants to help somehow.
Gadden,
Sure.
it's been 7 years.
Okay.
Gadden,
Doesn't
is that
feel
you?
like
Is that you? We thought we've come back every year for the last to see if you come back to us.
We
Well,
hoped
listen,
you'd
I
never
touched-
return. I mean, we hoped you.
Well, listen, a wild story. I found myself in this place called Culloden in Scotland. Of all places, and I met this man called Bonnie Prince Charles. So it's so weird. Anyways, to the point. He wants to help us.
So he says.
I didn't broker the arrangement, so just make sure we're okay. And then he just kind of like flanks, like kind of goes in front of Barty because he doesn't trust any of them yet. He says, "You don't have any magic yet."
I
Or
don't
do we?
believe so.
No.
Can Barty feel any magical vibes around him?
Do you need to roll anything, or is it just an automatic? You feel that shift?
I'm guessing I'd know.
Well, what's your passive arcana?
It's like 10. It's the modifier is a 10. I didn't know it was a passive.
You obviously, knowing magic, you are aware that anti sort of magic fields, in theory, Brother Gadden shouldn't have, disappeared. Part of you is kind of thinking, well, she is in that room, but then you're thinking, but then it's passed through this. What you don't understand how there's magic. You sort of. You feel it you feel it in your fingers. You feel it up your nose.
in your
So you're feeling magic, but you still can't, you don't have that sort of, you're feeling it, but you're not sort of feeling it, if you get my meaning.
So I know it's magic, but I can't cast magic as of yet. It's...
There's something odd. Roll me a perception. Roll me a perception.
Okay, I could roll an arcana.
You can roll me what?
Related to magic or
what is the wording? What's arcana is just say.
Arcana is just like magical stuff. So
well, the thing is,
I would say perception's more to do with environment.
Yeah, so it is a perception sort of thing.
I'll roll perception.
Yeah, roll me a perception.
I was just advocating towards
okay,
my strength.
roll me the arcana.
I was literally about to say, I bet you he rolls a 12.
Yeah, classic. I've got a theory, Gary, that I've been working off previously anyway.
Yeah.
That the Red Witches are just loads more powerful than Barty is. So at this point in time, he's like, well, of course they can cast magic. Doesn't necessarily mean that he could.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's your theory, and that's where you're going with. He's. You're not sure why they can do it. You just. There's something around. You can sort of. You've got that sort of itch. You can. When you first. You first felt magic. You've got that sort of within you, but you don't understand how they are doing it. But then again, you think, yeah, well, they're obviously very powerful, and maybe that's why.
Yeah. I'll just sort of like whisper back to Gadden, like with like gritted teeth. It's like, I certainly can't cast at the moment. Somehow they can. They must be powerful beyond measure. We just must be careful. Unless
Or we give him an opportunity for Tharaval and the others to stab him. And we don't need to fight them by magic. Clearly, they're going to be frail.
they could be. Gadden,
Hmm?
is this real?
What?
Any of
This.
this? Anything since Arno dropped the sack? Have we actually been able to verify if anything is as it should be?
He's going to do an unarmed strike to himself in the face. Really hard.
No, not yourself. Somebody else. Someone like the fucking guard over there. Just.
Shush. Just do it. So he does it. He smacks himself. I'm just going to do a straight strength.
Remember to
Obviously, I hit. Do I hit myself with a 15? Yeah, I do. Can I roll some damage?
That's a not. Oh no, it's a 14 plus 1. Right, okay, sorry. What's up?
Oh no, wait, no. My armor class 16. I'm not gonna even hit myself. Fuck off.
Did you actually
No.
proficiency on arm strike? Strength plus proficiency. Does that not
Hit
get
party.
Plus 1. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
14
but
plus
I just gets excited and pops.
yeah.
I'm not gonna know.
Hang on the head.
I'm gonna
He's
miss myself.
he's sort of like, you know, because he's on a bit discombobulated after the banishment, and then he's sort of like, you know, not really, you know, weakly, you know, pawing himself in the face.
It's like I can't tell if it's real or not, but I see what you're getting at here.
I'm looking at him,
no.
looking at him
While all
across from the thing, and like, what are you doing?
While all this is going on and everyone is
Wait.
distracted and the guards have stepped down, Arno's gonna try and look over at the closest dexterous person, which is Ciravel, and just shout, Ciravel, put me down.
For 1 minute. Yep. Okay. Carry on.
Ceravel sort of he doesn't react, but he obviously hears, and he sort of makes like a gesture with his hand to sort of confirm that he's heard what you said, and he starts to sort of edge round the back of the gantry and towards Arno. Tharaval sort of moves around as well, as if they're making their way to the High Paladin to sort of defend him if Kiamat is making his way forward. Tharaval sort of moves closer and up onto the gantry. Oh shit.
Okay. Carry on.
Can I, the Ceravel roll perception, just basically see if anybody is kind of paying attention to him or Arno?
Yep.
That sort of.
Yeah. Roll me. You like the sort of crowd that is surrounding you. Actually, I'm going to throw in some tokens because everybody's just going to forget that there's people around.
Yeah.
But
The crowd goes wild.
the crowd are sort of like just looking. They're sort of not paying attention to basically the halflings, you know, in front. The guards are sort of looking forward with the High Paladin. The sort of the retinue of Kiamat are just looking forward and not, you know, not paying attention to anything. Kiamat sort of looking, you know, towards Brother Gadden and smirking. One of the red witches is sort of looking in your direction.
While sort of all this is going on, there's like obviously a lot of commotion. Let's see, what would it be? So I'm assuming that Arno he's got his hands tied and the noose around his neck.
Yes.
Well, I suppose the more important thing is getting the noose out away from him first of all. So I'm gonna roll sleight of hand to get the noose off him. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Moose.
Ooh.
Nat 20, baby.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. You know,
Nice.
you sort of kind of do it in a way. You know, you're impressed with yourself. That it was
I think can I sort of describe it as like we sort of have like Cerevel sort of walking about and causing and it's kind of like like a magician's show where one of them walks past the two of them sort of walk past Arno, and literally just as they walk past, once they get past him, it's gone from the noose being around his neck to the noose not being there anymore, as if it's just sort of vanished all of a sudden, but it's not.
Now you see me, now you don't.
Nice.
Magic man.
Magic Man.
Magic.
Don't see now.
Arno shakes his hands behind his back with the rope tied around them, or are they manacles?
I would say rope. Yeah, it just says rope. It's nothing.
Rope.
Yeah.
What have I got?
As you're sort of doing that, you notice sort of you notice Niasil, looking like he's slowly losing his composure, and he's just sort of staring Kiamat down, like just looking at him. He's got his hand.
Where is he?
He's
with us, isn't he?
He's just beside you, and he's sort of looking at him, and he's sort of holding his sword, and he's sort of grasping his hand. He's sort of looking at it and stretching it, and he sort of looks up as he looks up. How did we decide, by the way? Is he and I'll let you let you have the sort of, is his transition magical or not?
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't think
No,
so.
we had that conversation.
Yeah. Okay. So he is
boy.
not. He is looking like he's about to rage very shortly. He's
Can any of us see this though? 'Cause
nobody's rolled.
looking.
Yeah, roll. All right. So Tharaval and Cerevel. Actually, no. Arno, you
They're
can give me a.
focused on
You can.
me,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can give me a
Okay.
perception. To see if you sort of pick up on this.
14.
Cerevel and Tharaval, you can give me one as well.
That's Cerevel's, and that is Thar.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Tharaval's focused on doing his magic trick with Arno anyway.
Yeah.
The first one was Cerevel's, the second one was Tharavel's.
Yeah.
So because you're close, I would probably say 15 is probably enough, but I think because yours is such an epic, yours is a crit fail, you distract Cerevel. He's about to sort of
Cancelled it out.
yeah, so you just sort of like he's about to do, and then you sort of not trip over, you sort of smell
Tap on his
something,
toe.
something happens to sort of kind of distract him, and he sort of like he looks in another direction, and yeah, so you're not doing, and he's slowly doing
Can
it.
Cyril get a roll? Can Cyril roll?
Yeah, just roll me a just roll me a 20. I haven't got any stats for him. Roll me a d20, see what he gets. An 8. No. I will give Saren, I'll give you one at yeah, I'll give me one. Roll me one. You'll maybe have, because you're not facing him, but you might be able to sort of hit. Yeah, give me a perception. Yeah.
Perception.
16.
Yeah. All right then. Yeah, because he's right behind you and stuff. All right, fine. All right. You hear some quite you hear some loud sort of murmurs coming from behind you, and it doesn't sound like crowd noises. You hear a sort of, it sounds like a kind of like a bark, and you sort of turn around and you see Niasil sort of his hand sort of like in a kind of like in a claw, like he's trying to hold himself back, and he's sort of his head's down and he's clenching his fists and he's he's trying to compose himself.
Right. I kind of dart over and sort of like, Nysel, not now. For the love of the gods, not now.
He says,
"You've got to hold it back. You've got to hold it back."
You hear sort of like partially in his voice and then partially in the draconic voice. You know, he's trying, and then you hear sort of kind of traitor barked out in a loud voice, in the sort of kind of draconic voice. You see his eyes sort of flick to sort of golden orbs with sort of like you know dragon sort of eyes. You can see his armor slowly, it's wobbling like it's about to transform.
Nice.
I'm going to have heard him at that point, aren't I?
Say it again.
I would have heard that as well by that point because he just said he barked very loudly.
There's no lance on the. Is there a lance?
Really sorry. Sorry. Yes. Oh no. Wrong thing.
I sort of say to Niasil, Niasil, as much as I would love to run my blade through that giant blood blister, we can't right now. You need to kind and keep it in. There's much more at stake than just running him through, and believe me, I would love nothing more.
Sorry, my roll 20's decided to crash on me, but the other one's fine. Roll me roll me persuasion, but you're going to probably need something quite high.
Yeah.
Lance, if you're sort of in the vicinity, and I will drop you in. Sorry. I'm not going to give you advantage. I'm just not going to give you disadvantage for it. Okay. No. Lance, I'll let you roll as well. Just
I'm gonna roll intimidation because I'm gonna turn around and say, "Stop that!"
Okay. Ooh, interesting. The order, you sort of notice that the order snaps him back slightly. He sort of turns, and what initially looks like rage sort of churns into, it's like Gregor, like an older Gregor's face, like, looking somewhat concerned at sort of being shouted at. He then sort of looks around himself and gives you a nod and says, I have control now. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's new. You're learning, but this would be a really inconvenient time to lose control. Everything's a little tiny bit squirrely at the moment, and I appreciate the thought.
He sort of looks over and he says, "That beast. He put me through all of that. He created me.
And he's going to pay when the time is right. I will quite happily play the drums while you tap dance on what's left of his remains."
He sort of puts his sword back, and he actually I'll put you over there. He puts his sword back and he sort of backs up slightly and bows his head. Kiamat starts to move down the stairs. There is sort of, I haven't got a token for it, but there is a sort of a red witch sort of standing beside him, and there's a few still in the doorway. As he does, his sort of retinue formation around him. You notice that there's a few more sort of standing in sort of the doorway as well. So they sort of there. The High Paladin starts to walk over towards him with some of his men, and let me stick. Yep.
I turn to Lance while they're doing that, and I say, as much as I love a good fight, there are a lot of people around, and they are in a lot of danger if we don't get them out of this area sharpish.
And if we act too quickly, things are going to go to shit. So why don't we try and find a balance, right?
Yeah.
Kiamat sort of says, "Oh, this just smells so familiar. Lots of civilians around. Lots of trigger-happy heroes. What happened the last time, I wonder?"
What's going to happen this time if you're not careful is me tickling your sinuses with the tips of my fingers just before I kick you in the snacks.
He laughs. He laughs very, very heartily and says, "Oh, you are going to be a what's the word? You are going to be fuck. What's the word?
I do love the way our GM preps for these things.
I don't prep. I've told you this. I don't prep anymore. There's no point.
This is why I made the joke. This is why I made the joke.
Oh shit, what's it? Fuck. That's annoying. The word was just there. Yeah.
Context clues.
Yeah, I can't even fucking remember now. Oh fuck. Oh well. Yeah, you're gonna be a basically whenever a duel happens, you're gonna be a
Second.
yeah, a good quarry basically. I can't think of the I had the word in my head and it's just gone, but yeah. So yeah, he and he says, "Don't think I haven't forgotten about our little deal. One of you against me. I look forward to it. But we have other business."
So stop joking about innocence and keep focused on the matter at hand. Because right now you're starting to sound more like an amateur than a professional, and that does nothing but piss me off.
The High Paladin sort of says, I believe there is an accord between yourselves and this party. Unfortunately, it would seem that some of said party have brought great danger to this place, and more so with your appearance when we should have had this entire area secure from your presence. Where did you come from?
Barty will just for a second, just like, "Hi, Paladin, please. This place was never as secure as you ever imagined. Get past it and think to the future."
He sort of says, I need to understand where the breaches in my walls are. Where have they come from?
Outside.
Kiamat,
They always do.
Kiamat says, I would like to tell you, High Paladin. Of course I would, and maybe I will. But I can't let all of my cards be shown now. Just know that I am here for the greater good of this place. For now.
And spit it out.
Well, it seems since you left my presence, you've been rather busy. Indeed, my spies inform me that the bastion of the Morning Star has fallen. the High Paladin says, "What is this? What is this? What do you mean the bastion has fallen?" He says, "Well."
I I literally just had the best thought of at this moment in time. I would just love Simon Gant to come falling out of the sky on his rope attached to his fucking thing that he's just
Definitely.
land in the middle of them.
But he has to be screaming the word as he comes through, like a battle cry.
He says, "Well, it would seem that it isn't just this place that is potentially infected, but the bastion as well. And the Dragon Slayer himself may be the reason for this, or his brother. I knew it! I knew it!" He turns towards the sort of the gallows, and he sees that sort of Arno is sort of down, and he sees that Saravel and Tharavel are sort of kind of standing sheepishly beside him, and he says, "Guards, hold those men." The guards sort of are a bit unsure because there's not a lot of them, and there's a lot of sort of kind of dragonborn sort of in front of them. A couple of them sort of start walking down.
Arno jumps down, grabs Cyril, jumps off the entry, and crawls underneath it.
I step in front of the advancing guards and say, "Don't."
Okay. He turns to Kiamat, sort of laughs at the sort of spectacle and says, "Fear not, High Paladin. As much as I would like to see the Dragon Slayer failed by your own blade, it was not his doing, unfortunately. His brother was but a puppet in a grander game, and had no idea what he was carrying. And it would seem that the bastion's falling is now an inroad for Therambor's forces. And so, I am here because this is the next place. And I will not let it fall unless it is by my hand. So, it seems that our positions align temporarily."
I think it's a very smart idea then. Maybe this alliance has been fruitful after all, and maybe High Paladin, we should just take it while we can. I know you don't like the idea, neither do I, but we have an opportunity here to gold Therambor and his majority forces into a trap. And we should. No?
Roll me a persuasion. That's a perception.
No. Oh shit. What did I?
One of the purrs.
That's even worse.
He just, he's not listening to you. He says, You wish me to side with you? After finding out that the bastion is down, I should have you run through now. And and Kiamat basically says, "Oh, don't be hasty. Don't be hasty. Don't be so hasty. As you can see, your own wards prevent any of your magic happening. Not so much for mine, though, as you have witnessed. It would be a shame to have lots of innocent people and useful soldiers killed before the enemy arrives.
High Paladin, take a moment. Would you rather, in haste, destroy this place, or have a chance to save it and the civilians that dwell in it at this time? Because if you refuse him, and I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna have to, if you refuse him and attack him, try and kill him, etc., etc., those women will destroy this bastion. Your anti-magic field is, quite frankly, shit. You are going to end up getting everybody in this bastion killed, yourself included, if you do not step down from your pedestal of your grand self-importance and actually think about everybody else for a change.
Oof, love it. Rolling persuasion, you can have advantage.
Thank you. I think my influence is rubbing off on you, Saren.
Where's my persuasion?
Oh, come on!
Oh, come on, that was great!
There's Garen's influence rubbing off.
You know what? I'm just gonna let it fly. You know, it's it was good enough. I think so I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Okay. He sort of takes a deep breath and he says, "I cast those wards myself. I know they work. I know they work." And
How
then,
long ago? How long ago did you cast them and have them work?
He says, "You don't understand these things, girl. This magic doesn't fade like magic doesn't go off like your local brew or like a sandwich. It stays strong." It stays strong.
When was the last time those wards were truly tested? And I mean as in a battle-ready situation tested. Because if it was recent, you would have found the breaches. You would have found the inclusions where people could get past your wards.
They
And
found
right
the
now,
spy
all
master
you're
hiding
doing,
in your library.
that too. And right now, all you're doing is dilly-dallying and possibly letting these good people die for nothing.
And then you see just
Poor
Garen pointing at
High
her,
Paladin. He's under a lot of stress at the minute. He's not.
and then actually wait, because he could see. Can he see the stress on the High Paladin?
Yeah, you can see that he's, he's, with all, these things, he's obviously he's got to where he's got because he's obviously a good soldier. He's not been promoted through, it doesn't work like that in the sort of in the order. So he's got there because he's good at what he does. So but maybe with the fact that he's got thousands of people to look after, he's got a war that's going badly, and he's got all kinds of things happening that he's got a bit of doubt on what he's done. So yeah, there's battle weariness and stress. You can see it quite plainly.
I kind of cough and clear my throat, and then like the Will Smith thing where he's like got the hands out indicating people. I just point at a certain Leonin paladin and say, "So they don't fade, right?"
No, they shouldn't do. But if you haven't tested them and it's been a while, then somebody's gonna figure it out one way or the other, and there are ways to do it. However, to the point, if they haven't been tested in more than a decade, let alone 5 years, then you're in trouble. However, you should forgive yourself considering that you have the administration of not this, but also the entire front under your shoulders. So
he sort of, you see a bit of he's sort of just pondering, and he's sort of pondering, and then he sort of kind of this moment of sort of shock sort of turns, and he turns to Kima and he says, What of Captain Girk? What of God, Captain Girk? That's not his accent. What have I've completely forgotten his accent.
Why? It's dark and deep and gruff.
Yeah. What about Captain Girk? He says, oh, the good captain. He managed to be out of the bastion when the incident occurred. Where his whereabouts are unknown. He has always been a slippery one. So he could be here. He could come to rescue us. He could never turn up. He could be dead. We know not. The high paladin sort of backs up towards the statue and sits down on it and puts his hand on his head and basically just, it doesn't break down, but you can tell he's pretty broken right now, and he doesn't feel like he doesn't know what to do, which is you've always seen him. He's always been quite charismatic, quite sort of assertive. He's not a bad person, but he's now just lost.
Gone.
Tharaval approaches him and he sort of kneels down beside him. I puts his hand on his shoulder and he says, my lord, this is not the ideal situation that we would have liked to have been in. The plan was that you would close down the bastion and prevent evil from entering. That time has come and gone. Tiamat has arrived here, and if he wanted, he could have kept his presence unknown to us and could have taken this bastion down from within. He has given us information and detail as to our current situation. And again, as I say, it is not ideal. We have to accept the fact that the bastion is under imminent attack. And they are here not as foe, but as allies. Again, not the allies that we would have wished for, but I think it is the time that we need to bolster our defenses, prepare for the attack that is coming.
We
I
also
walk
have
over and-
we
Sorry.
also have a problem with the Hydra as well. So there's two fronts to be fighting on. And quite
Yes.
frankly, we can't do that. We can't fight both of them. We need the allies.
I walk over and put my hand on Paladin's shoulder and say, at the moment, the enemy of our enemy is our friend. It is not something he particularly wants to be admitting. I can understand that, but
Oh, lads,
we need to work
friends.
with what we've got.
Friend. He says, I never thought I'd see the day that we were friends.
I turn around and I scratch my nose with my middle finger extended and say, this might be a good time to shut up.
I think you are picking a fight with the wrong person at this moment in time, Echo Knight.
I am simply pointing out that timing is very important, both for the warrior and for the diplomat.
I would, he sort of seems, he's always been quite confident, but he seems overly more cocky at this moment in time. He seems that it would seem that I hold all the cards at this moment in time. You will do as I tell you to do. You will cease with your constant mewlings, all of you. We have preparations to make. We have a bastion to make safe. And if you carry on, then I will just have to deal with you like I would deal with any insubordinate soldier. So, let us.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, carry on.
Tharavol's sort of exasperated with, he's kind of fed up with all this back and forth between our own side and everything like that, and he just sort of stands up and he's like, enough of this. None of us can do this on our own. Tiamat cannot fight this battle on his own. He needs us. My lord, you cannot do this without Tiamat. And we cannot do this without either of you. We must put aside these petty squabbles, who is better than the other, to get a little jive in, just for the sake of feeling powerful. If we do not come together and fight as one, we will all die. So enough of this bickering. My lord, please stand to your feet. Extend the arm, extend the hand. And for at least a moment in time, be allies.
Barty, roll me a history check.
History.
High story.
High story.
Not more histrionics. Sorry.
Historia.
Come on. Come on, Barty, you can do this.
I love that you're like...
Roll 20. Roll
If you
20.
build it, they will come.
Roll 20's hanging. Where's that character sheet?
Being rude.
It's been so rude.
How dare
Very
it?
dare it. How very dare it.
Ah!
Pause before the not one.
Just
I
don't click on the
know,
red
right?
button. Don't
Just
click
getting
on
out
the
of the
red
system
button.
now. We're just getting out of the system now.
Quick refresh. Cheeky refresh.
What was I going to say? Anything else? Arno, and
Arnie, get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. You gotta get out.
Arno and Cyril, obviously, you see things seem to have calmed down somewhat. Are you coming out of your hiding place? The guards have sort of returned back to their sort of back there.
Oh, history 23.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Yeah, okay. So I can't remember if it was any of the... It's one of the live, and I'm not sure if we've maybe done this before in one of the previous sessions, but I'll just retell it to you. You reading in one of the libraries, you sort of obviously have read about the fall of Jorathrasta and how it fell, and how that Tiamat came in friendship, and with that, managed to take over the bastion, which he now calls home. So it's obviously something that's going to be, it's in the back of your head that this seems somewhat similar.
Okay.
It's up to you if you want to say anything, or you just want to keep it to yourself. It's
I'll keep it to myself now, just for the moment.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Arno, what are you up to?
I will, if I can see, from underneath the gantry, I'll just stay there, just because Cyril's with me, and I'll be trying to get my hands around the front and try and find something sharp to take the ropes off.
We'll say you sort of managed to take your ropes off, and to sort of expedite things slightly, we'll the High Paladin walks forward, and he sort of shakes the hand of unwillingly shakes the hand of Kiamat. He says, "Brilliant. Then, as the ranking officer, I guess I will take command." The High Paladin sort of looks at you and says, "This is my keep. This is my bastion. This is my temple complex. I am in command here." Kiamat.
Yeah, he's a bit taller than his team,
Kiamat sort of appears from outside of the. Kiamat
Blue TPK.
looks at him, then looks at one of his red witches, who sort of nods her head, and he turns to him and says, "As you wish," and gives him a sort of sarcastic bow, which isn't lost on the High Paladin, who looks somewhat flustered and slightly annoyed, but sort of keeps his composure. Niasil sort of walks over to Arno and Cyril, and he sort of says to you in quite a soft voice, "It's okay. I will look after you both." And he takes out Huthway. He's got Huthway's Bane, doesn't he? Yeah. Takes out Huthway's Bane and sort of takes your ropes off.
Arno looks at him with a little scowl, and he said, "Weren't really doing much a job of it before." And he kind of lets his hands be loosened and drops them and doesn't look at him, and then he turns back and he says, "You keep my brother safe with your life, and maybe I'll forgive you."
He doesn't. There's no real emotion on his face. He just he gives a slight nod and just sort of kind of stands back and sort of looks forward at the sort of the meeting, the parley in front of him.
All right. Arno will turn to Cyril and just say, "Stay by his side like you're attached. I can't lose you again, and he can keep you safe. But you catch wind of something strange going on with him, and you run, because he will not be able to control himself."
What do you mean, brother? What do you mean he can't control himself?
Just trust me. He has a beast within himself which he's learning to come to terms with. But I do not trust it. Not yet.
Okay. Does anybody else want to say anything? Ask any questions or anything? Because it's coming to 11 o'clock, so probably best to sort of clear up shortly. But has anybody got anything else they want to do before we sort of knock it on the head for the week?
I just turn to the paladin and say, if we're going to be doing what we need to do, then can you please return our gear to us so that we can be useful?
He just sort of tilts his head and then sort of barks an order at one of the sergeants of the guard, who sort of take two of the soldiers who go off to the cells to get your equipment. Kiamat sort of says to, "So let us find a place to discuss what is to come."
I think one of our party should go with them. Somebody to represent us.
I turn and walk after them and leave you guys to get yourselves sorted out.
Yeah, you can all you can all be there if you want to and stuff. I think what's going to probably happen is we'll have a bit of downtime explanation about what's going to happen, what's coming and stuff, and then you can make any decisions based on that. Is anything else? Anybody else want to do anything? Say anything? Make any rules?
Is it possible to get a second with like the High Paladin without came out within earshot?
Yes, if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, he'll just sort of like sidle up if he can, and try not to like raise too much attention to himself. And he'll address the High Paladin. He'll say, "I think you've chosen wisely today. Certain death and survival, but just be careful. Remember, you're a Frester. At some point, you will have to renege on this agreement, and the timing will be key. Else you'll just be a thrall."
He sort of, you can see him sort of looking sort of back in his mind, see where he can remember, and then he sort of, his eyes sort of widen as he remembers what happened in Jorthrust, and he says, by Bahamut, we have let this fox into our coop.
He jumped the fence. It
He
is not your fault. It could have happened anyway, but it's all about what you do and how you do it, not about what has transpired.
Yeah, he sort of pats you on the shoulder and says, "Thank you. I must compose myself, try and find the rest of my men, and I will join you all shortly when we convene our Council of War. If you might to keep an eye on our ally, it would be greatly appreciated."
It is done.
Arno finally comes out and he shouts across, making sure to sort of be amongst some civilians. And he says, "Are you not at least curious how this lizard's witches could bypass your anti-magic field and banish Brother Gadden? Perhaps we need those answers before you convene to discuss plans. Because if they can do it, we need to know how to do it too."
Kiamat sort of kind of who sort of he sort of is in center. He sort of moves over towards where Ceravel. He sort of gives him a bit of a pat on the shoulder, and then looks past him at the sort of you and the crowd. And he's peeking around to see you through the crowd. And he says, "Oh, the Dragon Slayer has been let go, it seems. Finished cowering underneath the gallows. Well, what happened to these fields is my business. I said to you all, I have cards that I do not want to show. All you need to know is I am here to help. For now."
"And you stand for this, High Paladin?"
No, please.
He turns to her and he says, What am I to do? What am I to do? We can fight here and die."
High Paladin just puts his hand on his chest and says, "Calm down. Arno, shut the fuck up. Calm down, Paladin. We'll deal with it." He looks at the High Paladin and kind of just gets him to, he needs to calm down. So he's trying to soothe him. He can't cast any spells, otherwise he would have done calm emotions. Then turns around and looks at Arno and says, "Can you just fucking shut up for 1 minute? We'll figure it out." He doesn't need to know.
You to say you don't have marks around your neck from a noose.
Easy for you to say too. You're just one and your little brother here, just making a little bit of fuss, but he has like 10,000 people he has to fucking figure out and protect.
I'm
It's
not
on his
trying
shoulders.
to start a fight. I'm trying to get
No.
answers.
No, not now, Arno. Not now. Later. Now is not the good time. We need to simmer. Let cool heads prevail. Your head is on a hot head right now. It looks like it's on fireball.
Arno, give me a perception check.
Because this has been going so well so far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's alright. 18.
It's no wisdom.
You know, as you're sort of looking at sort of Brother Gadden, you notice, because obviously there's there's meant to be a lot more stairs sort of kind of going up, but there's a lot of stairs sort of going up to where the main entrance of the sort of the main temple complex building is. And you see, you know, some of the Red Witches have sort of come out. There's sort of one standing there leaning on the door. You see behind her Kivy, sort of kind of standing in the sort of in the back chamber of the room, and she smiles at you reassuringly, and sort of I don't know, gives you a sign that you would maybe understand that, you know, it's okay.
Okay.
But I look at like Arno, and it was just like, there are some questions that nobody has the answers for just yet. Some forces we don't know how to wrangle, but maybe we'll work it out. I don't care, Matt knows. He's a pawn himself. Someone's given him some power, but he cannot wield it. That's his weakness.
Okay. Anything from anybody else? Anything they want to ask or do or roll? No? Okay, cool. Right, we will leave it there. I can work further on my map, which I'm super enjoying right now. It's yeah. Yeah, so we'll do that. Discord, I'm going to throw some stuff in, downtime stuff. So it's basically, if it's going to be the Council of War, and I'm probably going to give you some options. Then you can decide if it's something you want to do in the next session, or if it's something you want to do in downtime, and then we carry on from the next session. I'll leave it up to you. I would do that. But yeah, okay. Interesting times ahead. What could possibly go wrong? Right. Okay. Definitely nobody's got anything else they want to do before we go? Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. For tonight, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been Conrad as Arno Jerkel.
Farewell.
We have Michael as Tharvel Eldon.
Night, everyone.
Jace as Brother Gadden.
Be a man. I'm kidding.
Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
Good night, y'all.
Marcus Lance.
It could have been worse.
And Vic as Saren Sanguine.
Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.